Hey guys, I'm back. CyberMage here. So for you guys who haven't seen me yet, this is pretty much what I look like. Slowly, I'm going to be starting to use my cam in my videos, but yeah, I'm just going to be taking it slowly. But for this video, I decided to actually turn it on. So there we go. But yeah, in this video, we are going to be talking about the CBBH exam, which is the Certified Bug Bounty Hunter by HackTheBox. Honestly, a great starting point for anyone trying to get into cybersecurity or pen testing. Um, it's probably more difficult than the OSWA by OffSec, and usually a lot of people use this resource to prep for the OSWA. I think that's what it's called, OffSec, something like that. OSWA, yeah, I think it's that. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I'll be talking about mainly my ways that I use to prep for this exam, the resources I recommend, and it's going to be a short video, but it's going to be quite helpful. So first of all, let's see. One of my recommendations that I would suggest actually for everyone is that let me just go here to job role. Perfect. Yeah, one of the things that I recommend is to do the skill paths twice. The exam is made by the same people who made the course, and as we know, you're required to complete the whole CBBH course in order to take the exam. So you could pretty much assume that the exam is going to be very similar to the course material. You know, for some things like even though you might pay for the OSCP and you pay the whole thing over there, and you still get the course with it, you have to pay for the course for your first payment. You can still take the exam even without completing the course. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can do that. But in the academy portion of Hack the Box, you got to complete the course, and only then you can take the exam. So, because of this, I recommend doing the skill assessment twice. The skill assessments in every module, it pretty much tests your skills in that section, right? While the CBBH exam is going to be like a skill assessment, you could say, but with everything here. The topics in the exam kind of cover a lot of things here. So it's not just going to be like one thing, environment. There's going to be quite a lot of this, almost everything. Um, Obviously not the basics things, right? Because those are like just knowledge. You should know how to use burp, right? But yeah, those it's gonna be like a skill assessment of everything. So I recommend doing all the skill assessments in each of these modules twice. Another thing that I recommend is that as you're going through the course, you should decide on like your application that you're going to use for note taking. And there's two note taking apps that I recommend. One is Obsidian. A lot of my pen tester friends use Obsidian for their daily tasks. Um, I kind of moved out of Obsidian, but only due to how crowded it could get. But for like one certification, I highly recommend doing or sorry using Obsidian. And because this does get very clouded, or crowdy or clouded, whatever you want to call it, right? It just get quite messy. I prefer using Bookstack, and that's what I currently use. And that's the other application that I recommend. So this is Bookstack over here. Let me just go here, not to books, but I'll go to shelves and see how organized this is. This would be like super messy in Obsidian. So although it could be good for like one certification, small stuff, but long-term usage, if like for you people who are probably going to do the CBBH, you're probably going to do the CPTS and other courses as well, and try to gain those certifications. And you're probably going to, list all your methodologies and things that you're learning from different CTFs, right? And it could get really crowded in Obsidian. So for one certification, yeah, you can go ahead and use Obsidian. It also has an amazing feature, this canvases, right? Where you can actually just list or make a graph out of everything, right? Like it's much more visually appealing, and you can already know, hey, I should do brute forcing this, and I should do the spidering and default pages I should check. You know what I mean? CMS scanners, you have your own over here options that you have. It's much more visually appealing and easy to follow. This isn't in Obsidian. Well, it is in Obsidian. Sorry. Well, it is in Bookstack, the other application I'm going to recommend. It's just not as visually appealing. But yeah, this is one of the features that I love about Obsidian, and it's probably good for if you're doing one certification. And yeah, let's talk about the other one, which is Bookstack over here. And over here, we can see that I organized all these things to different categories from all the things that I've learned, such as Pen 210, the OSCP in this section. And sometimes I take things out of this and I put it into the main things that I use, such as Windows, services, and web and stuff. So for the CBBH, we'll just look at the web. And if we click it, so you can consider this as the shelves. And then when you click it, it shows you the books, right, in that shelves. So we have two books. You can see this book icon over here. And if we go to web application enumeration, it will go ahead and show us the chapters that it has, which are these three. And then you can open the chapter and see all the pages in here. And if we click on like brute force, we can see that I have a bunch of tools over here that I could use and commands, searching directories, vhost fuzzing, extension fuzzing, page fuzzing with extension. So this is like everything that I'm writing for myself, and yeah, and over here we have dictionaries to use. So dictionaries that I have used or, worked for me in a bunch of CTFs. So I just keep adding things on as I go, and that's pretty much it. And you can imagine how good this would probably be for long-term usage as you're going on with your career and stuff like this, studying for CRTO, learning cloud, just much more useful, I would say, than Obsidian in the long run. But yeah, another thing that I recommend is while you're going through the course and you're taking all the notes from all the modules and taking all the commands, don't always use the cheat sheet. I think that the cheat sheets that HackTheBox gives you is great, but the issue is that it's how do you say it? You could reference it, but it's just not as amazing or useful as when you're taking your own notes, Just referencing HackTheBox's own cheat sheet, it's just not going to stay in your long-term memory as well. And it's going to be harder to reference it unless you make it yourself. And like every pen tester would have their own notes, and taking notes is super crucial. So you should definitely do that yourself instead of just using cheat sheets online. Even for the OSCP, they have like cheat sheets online. Completely don't recommend any of those. Just make it your own and keep going. Just keep adding things to it. So while you're going through this, you might need to reference some stuff, right? And the place that I go to get more details on, for example, SQL injection, right? A place where I go is Hacktricks. And this is actually the SQL injection page open right now. And it gives us a bit more things over here. For example, it shows that these are entry point detection things that you can use, and some commands as well. And over here, it also shows you that you can do it in the URL and stuff like this. So I usually go back to Hacktricks as well for further knowledge and stuff to add to my notes. So if you go over here and go to, let's see, vulnerabilities, you can see SQL injection. Although I have this little thing over here provided by HackTheBox, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's from HackTheBox. I also reference over here Hacktricks, right? So we have some Hacktrick things over here. So I use both of them. And if you're completely starting off with CBBH, because this would kind of be like the first cert that some of you guys are probably going to get. It was the first cert for me. I highly recommend doing some boxes on the lab portions of HackTheBox every week. Try to do like 2 of those boxes every week. When you're taking the exam, don't try to overkill it or overdo it or get too complicated. Just stick to the course material. But if you're starting off with this course, I highly recommend you go ahead and do some boxes as well while you're doing this. Probably like 2 every week. 3 every week is like max, but like 2 every week is decent. Just so you get an idea of doing CTFs, thinking outside the box, and it's just going to help you in the long run while you're getting other certs as well. And it's going to give you a good feeling for the exam, because majority of the exams that you're going to take as a penetration tester or trying to become one is going to be CTF style exams. And if you go to Academy x HackTheBox Labs over here and just select exams, and then here you can see all the modules, and you can click one of them, such as command injection, and it will show a bunch of boxes related to that module. And you don't need to do anything more than easy, because it's going to be like, I would say medium, hard, this ultra hard, insane. They're all complete overkill. Just don't even bother with it, to be honest, not for this exam. When you're taking the exam, remember, stay within the course content, right? Don't like do crazy stuff. And you should go ahead and probably do some easy ones over here. For example, Bash is a good one. I haven't done this, but networked is great. And yeah, some of these will probably help you. In the Precious is good. Pandora, even though you might not be able to do it or you might find it too difficult, it's okay to reference the walkthroughs or look at or watch IPSEC videos. Those are amazing to start off with. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. That's my final recommendation. And so a summary of this is, make sure you do the skill assessments twice. Stay within the course content materials that are given when taking the exam, and have a note-taking app that you're using and take notes for every module. You can use the cheat sheet as a reference, and use hack tricks as well when you're doing these CTF boxes, and or as you're learning through the modules, and try to do 1 to 2 or 3 boxes every week to get a feel of a CTF type exam, and it's also going to help you in the long run as well. So yeah, that's it, and take care.